Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fun-filled edition of Division 3 in DTR. Just checking that we're live. DTR? Yep, we are indeed. So we're in Qatar tonight, and you'll notice that the car liveries are not the normal cars, and that is because EA have done an update, and apparently the normal cars are not equal performance. So we've gone to the player cars, which are equal performance, just until that gets fixed. We've got 14 drivers tonight, and it looks like some of our title contenders are here. Ill Vision, good to see him back after he missed a week last week. But Berserk is the first out of the pits, and he was reserving in Division 2 last night, so very familiar with the track. But what we will do is we'll stick with him, and in true Hammers fashion, I'll take you on a lap with him first of all, and then we'll catch up with the rest of the field, see how they're getting on. There's a number of different strategies people can use here. Some people will go for a hard medium, but other people will try and stretch the mediums and go medium soft. But it's all dependent on people's preferences. The walls are quite far away from the track, so safety cars unlikely, but not impossible. I think we had 2 last night in a virtual, but this division's pretty clean as it is really. So I'm going to stick my neck out there and say no safety cars this evening, which will make it all about strategy. But Berserk is on his way around the last corner and flying down onto the straight. This is the pit straight, DRS zone. And there's the start-finish line and someone coming out the pit. So we're entering turn 1, take a nice wide line in. And it's a long hairpin, and you'll see that this circuit is fast-flowing. And even this corner here, you can cut so much of that inside curve to give yourself a good exit into an easy right-hander, and then again you're going to be chucking the car in, a couple of right-hand turns, and then you've got another hairpin left, which is a bit tighter than the first one we saw, so you've got to get the car slowed down. But Berserk does a good job of chucking as much speed in there as he can. Careful on the throttle out of that corner, and this hairpin is a bit deceiving. Again, it's another long one, but it tightens up on exit, as you can see there. Curbing just comes across, so that is a place you're going to get quite a few penalties. But yet again, another shortest type of hairpin, and again get your foot down on exit, and this is a fast flowing set of corners. Flat out into the first right, flat out into the second. You can go flat out into the third, but do you dare do it? And there's a little flick down from Berserk there, and then this left hander, just a slight lift, little tap on the brakes, back on full throttle and down to the final corner, which is another long hairpin. Get your foot down, take a wide as line as possible, get your DRS open, and that will be Berserk's first lap of qualifying, and it's a 22.5, so good start from him. Hayward's going to be the next car over the line, opens up his DRS and is on his way down now. And he looks like he might improve on that time. He does 22.1. We've got someone behind him. It's going to be very hard for me to identify the cars tonight because people are just using different liveries. No idea. Is Bog on a hot lap? Think he might be. Let's just see. Yeah, the RS is not flashing, so let's watch him. Jordan now with the 22.0, setting the pace. And there's another car about to come over the line again. I'm going to have to guess who these people are. Probably Hackett, I think. Was Hackett, 22.6. Bob just fighting his way around this free-flowing section, and again he has a little dip of the a gear, does the same thing into this corner, and actually carries great momentum. That was a very neat section. Just hugs the apex, chucks it out wide. Could go even wider than that if he wants to carry a bit more speed. DRS is open. And what's he going to do for his first time? This looks like it could be pretty handy. It's a 22.6, faster than Hackett so far. Nerdy on his way around. Again, DRS open. Run out of ERS though. 22.1 for him, so it puts him in provisional third place for now. Brandon on his way round. Here he comes across the line. It's a 22.9, only enough for 7th so far. We've got a few more on an out lap, but I think Ill Vision is actually just starting a lap and he's invalidated it already. How have you invalidated it already? Well, that is no idea. What about Mikey? DRS wide open, blasting his ERS down the straight. Gets nice and wide for entry into turn 1. Quite close to the apex, didn't quite make it. Chucks plenty of speed though into turn 3. Or was it 2? Don't know, I did give up naming things. Chuck it into this fast right-hander. You have to give it a little bit of brake. He does. A little bit more in there for him on exit. Now get the car slowed down. Oh, and he just tried to get. He either got on the power too early, or just didn't brake hard enough. Just let go of the brakes too early. And we will see better than this from Mikey, I think. It's just a warm-up lap. Just getting a feel for it. Here we go. We're coming down to the fast-flowing corners. Keep your foot planted. Does for the first one, does for the second one, and you can do it for this third one. You just have to nail it, and he does nail it. See, he doesn't need to lift through there. Little flick down, uses all the track on exit. This is a better sector from Mikey. This one gets in, hits the apex, floors it out, and that's a better wide line. But comes back across the track. Didn't need to do that. Probably just correcting a bit of oversteer. And here we go. What's he going to put in for his first lap? It's a 22.0, and I don't think it was the cleanest. So he's got plenty in the tank. What about our race winner from last week, Wazza? He's coming over the line now. Trying to make his car look like a McLaren. And he's put a 22.0 in. Oh, he's found some pace over the last couple of weeks. What about Diego? He's invalidated. Ill Vision has started another lap. There's a dark blue car. I don't know who that is. No, it must be someone we watched already. Probably Jordan on his outlap, maybe. Someone that's going in the pits. Anyway, Ill Vision's the next one across the line. Purple second sector, apparently. Again, we don't believe the track map. Again, he keeps his foot down, so he must have plenty of wing he can use. And you can see the ERS just burns after a lap, like he's already flashing. It's very demanding. You have to try and save as much of it as you possibly can in the race, and it will pay you back later. So hard to recharge it without too many braking zones, and it's a 22.5 for Ill Vision. Got a car behind him, got to figure out who that is, and if they're on a lap. Reliot goes provisional pole, didn't see that come in. Well done to him. That was Jordan actually crossing the line to start his lap. So Reliot, he's a big contender. He had a good race last night in Division 2. Got to be careful he doesn't earn himself a promotion next year. But this man has been solid all season. Been really impressed with his races this year. And quite rightly is in contention to win the championship. Really good consistency. You can see he's nice and neat. He's done well in qualifying, and look how much speed he can carry through there. And we've got yellow flags, don't know where that's coming from. We've got a car without fuel just in front, so hopefully he gets out of the way. And again, we're at the flat out section. Will Jordan keep his foot pinned around the third one? He will, and he'll get the line absolutely spot on. There's the car getting out of the way. Good work from them, using all the track. Now get the hairpin spot on, and we could be looking at a pretty quick time from Jordan. Could have used a bit more track on exit there. It's not the end of the world, and he's coming across the line now. Is he in the 21s? He is. It's a 21.8 and goes provisional pole. Glad we got to see a lot of that lap. What about Evan? We haven't seen him much tonight. He's coming around the third sector, and he just decides to have a little lift, but he's invalidated. So let's move away. What about Brandon? On his way around the start of the lap. Let's just see if there's anyone else a bit further around. Got someone in red. No, on an out lap. Some other red car. Can't figure it out. Oh, who else is in red? Got 7. No. Okay, well, let's go back to Joe. Don't think we've watched Joe yet tonight. So he's in sector 2. This is the corner that tightens up on exit, so be careful on the power, but he's got that spot on. Chuck the car into the right-hander. Gets the apex late, nice. Gets nice and wide on exit to carry as much speed as he possibly can. It's looked pretty neat from what I've seen so far. Flat out around these corners. Will he stay flat out? He will. Gets the angle perfect. Look, gives himself plenty of room on exit. Could even have gone a bit wider, and look how wide he was there. That was perfect. He's carrying so much speed around here. And Joe in the last couple of races has been pretty impressive. What's he going to do now? On his way down to the line. Can he get into the 21s? It looks like he might. Oh, he is just 21.9. It's enough for second. People improving now. What about Hackett? He's on his way through sector 2. Has anyone else improved? Don't think so. If they have, they've snuck in and I haven't seen it. And from memory, I think Hackett had a good time at Monza time before. Plenty of talent in this league, in this division. And he's just invalidated there in that flat. Try to keep it flat through there. What about Berserk? How's he getting on? Oof, bit of oversteer on exit, or was it a glitch? Not really sure. He's currently 8. He's running up to the line now. He's about to cross it. It should be an improvement. It's 2.5 tenths. And he's gained 1 position. He's up into 7th place. Nell's out the pits. Here we go with the fastest first sector in his black and gold car. Running the DTR colours. Evans left the session. Pretty sure he had trouble last week, to be fair. And will he go flat through this final kink? He will, quite comfortably actually. The car didn't even look unsettled really. It's plenty of speed through the penultimate corner. And here's the hairpin. Runs a little wide of the apex, but it's okay. Gets a nice wide exit. Carry speed. On the final run to the line, he will pick up a 21.8 to start and straight into second place on his first lap. So the track has come in to these drivers now. Nerdy is actually a little bit down on his time, but not drastically. He only needs to gain, well, if he can gain 2 tenths in this last sector, he can get 4. And he's a 10.5 up. So he has improved through sector 2. Here we go. Throws it into the final couple of corners. Around the final hairpin we go. Just about gets to the apex. Takes a nice wide line. That's perfect. And he's throwing it all the way to the line now. Has he done enough to gain 2 tenths and get into the 21s? Yes, just about. Up into 4th. So good lap from him. Bog is the only other car out, and I think he's just started a lap, so we're going to be watching him again. Nice and aggressive on exit there. Makes this look effortless. Barely has to brake, he just glides everywhere. Evan must be having a nightmare. Join, rejoin, disconnect, rejoin. Hopefully we can get that settled for the race. Got a car out of fuel right in front of Bog here. Is Bog going to keep it flat? He is, a little lift. But he gets through it. Takes a nice wide line. Just slightly misses the apex. He's just got the final corner to navigate now. Gets it into the apex. Manages to power out of the corner. There's a nice late apex. And what can he do? Any improvements? Yes, it's 2/10. It's enough for 10th. He'll be happy if he stays around that position, I think. I wonder if Evan and Diego are going to be able to put a time in. There's only 2 minutes left. They're still in the pits. They're going to have to hurry up. Elliott started his lap, so let's have a watch him in his bright Barbie girl car. Looks lovely. Brings out the colour in your eyes, mate. Ooh, the nasty shade of green. He's backed off. Odd one. Maybe he's didn't have the best of starts. Hayward's going to be our next up across the line. He's got a lap. Here he comes now. Trying to sort out the exit. Start his lap. DRS on. DRS open. And off we go. Down towards turn 1. Takes a nice wide line in. It's nice and close to the apex. Plenty of speed through there. Just a little lift through this one. And then hammer on the brakes. Turn in. Hope it sticks. Throttle on the way out. Don't spin it. Perfect. Apparently purple in the first sector. Just missed the apex slightly there, but again, carries enough speed on exit. Should get away with it. And now we're into the fast flowing section. Can he nail it? Hit every apex. Really chuck the car in here. He does. Look at the perfect line. Carries enough speed. Take a little bit of speed out of the car now. Uses all the track on exit. That's perfect. It's probably the best sector 3 I've seen so far. Gets the car slowed down. Floors it on exit. Here we go. Has he got enough here to get himself on provisional pole? He has. It's a 21.7. Jordan has to respond now. Apparently does with a purple first sector. So he's got a 10th to find. But he might have Nellboy for company behind him. There's a lot of cars that are on laps right next to each other, I think. Right behind Jordan. So if one of them makes a mistake at the front, that's everyone else in trouble. But let's concentrate on Jordan. 3/10 up already, and he's purple again. This is going to be an epic lap. And there is a car that's moved. It looks like it might move to the side, to be fair. This could be huge from... Elliott puts in a 21.7, but I think Jordan's just about to pit this. It looks... It's on target for a 21.4, but I think he's going to do a little bit more than that. Here he comes now. Checkered flag is in sight. What has he done? It's a 21.6. So actually lost a little bit of time in the third sector. What's Nellboy doing then? He's coming round the final bend. Has he got enough to take provisional pole? Evan with his one and only lap, 21.7 is up into 4th. Here comes Nell then. Over the line, and it's enough. It's huge. It's 4/10. It's a 21.2, and I think that is everyone complete. What a lap in the end from Nell. And one of the title contenders. They're all battling it out, but the top 3, Nellboy, Jordan and Elliott. And Hayward unlucky not to make it to the top 3. Look at that, 1,000th of a second out from Elliott. It's going to be an interesting race. Evan with one lap and puts in a 21.7. Nerdy in there with a 21.9. Wazza 22, coming off the back of a win in Singapore. Don't know what happened to Mikey. He didn't improve after the 22.0. Don't even know if he came out on track. But Brandon down in 9th, 22.2. Berserk the same. Hackett in 11th. He's the same. So Nellboy is showing his class. 4/10, and I think Jordan's got the pace in the bank. You could see that he just lost a few tenths through, but I think even with that, I think Nellboy really showed his class there in that last run. So your order: Nelboy in first, Jordan second, Reliot in third, Joe in fourth, Evan with his 1 lap, 21.7, Nerdy in sixth, Wazza 7th, Mikey 8th, Brandon in 9th, and Berserk 10th. Then we've got Hackett, Ill Vision, Bog, and Jago. Jago did set a time in the end. Only a second and a half, not even that, separating the field. And really, if you took Nelboy out of the equation, it's less than a second between everyone. So this is going to be a interesting race. So without surprise, there is no rain in this race. No rain in the desert. Teams are just setting up their strategies for the race, deciding how much extra fuel they're going to carry, because this track absolutely drinks it. It's a fast flowing circuit, so you're pretty much flat out the whole way around. I think if I was going to guess, I'd say that you're probably on an average of about 60-70% sort of throttle the whole way around. Nelboy will lead them off for the formation lap for them to warm their tyres up. Now let's have a look at strategies. What have people decided? Mediums or hards? We've got no one starting on the softs, which is interesting, but everyone on mediums up to Nerdy. Waz has decided to go on the hards. Mikey starts on the mediums. Brandon Berserk on the hards. Boggs on hards in 13th as well. So we'll be looking to go long. And if there's any safety cars, you'd assume they'd stay out. Or it just gives them the option that they've run a different tyre, so they could go hard, medium, medium if you get an early safety car. That's why some people decide to take the hard strategy. But in reality, if you're brave, you can make a medium soft work here, I think. But your mediums would not be in great condition, I don't think, by the end. And they're now forming up on the grid. I'm going to get rid of the menus for the start, and then forget how to put them back on when I need to go through it. But the lights are about to come on. Nelboy is going to lead them away. Here they come. We're on 5 lights, and they're waiting an eternity for them to go. And here we go. Nelboy's away quite slowly there, I think. And I think that's Reliot in behind him. Is going to have a little run, but he's sort of tucked in between Jordan. He's not going to be able to make the move. We've got Hayward trying to make a move on the inside of Reliot. Down the inside there, they're 3 wide. I think Jordan's just about got ahead. Reliot and Joe are going to be in a little bit of a scrap, and I think Joe's going to have to get out of it. But Reliot runs a little bit wide. It gives Joe an opportunity to come back at him. Reliot is making his way round the outside. He's going to have to remain on the outside here. And yeah, that was inevitable. They were going to touch. It's a bit of a crash there, and a good camera angle to see that everyone else does manage to avoid it. Oh, there's another tap there. Who are those two? Need to bring up the menu to have a quick look. It looks like it might be Mikey's been caught up. He was caught up there yesterday. So yeah, he's been involved in it. Hackett is losing places. Ilvision's moved up. So don't know where to look next. A lot going on. Berserk in 7th. Brandon's made some good gains. Looks like Mikey's made it past his actual teammate for the season. And Hackett and Bog are having a bit of a go at each other here. Bog gets past. He's up into 9th. We've got Yago and Wazza fighting a bit further down. I wonder if Wazza's got some damage. He's lost 2 places very, very quickly there. But we'll go back to the front. Jordan's actually got out in front. When did that happen? Sorry, I completely missed that. It must have happened whilst the carnage of Reliot was happening behind. So Jordan takes the lead. Nellboy is all over the back of him. He won't have DRS yet. He might be using a tad bit of ERS, but the slipstream's enough to get him through. And you can see there's a couple of cars in the background. I think that's Berserk on Brandon, also trying the same thing. So Nellboy up into the lead of the race again. Jordan, I don't know where he took Nellboy last time, but he will remember that. We've got 4 cars in the pits. Hackett, Wazza, Reliot and Yago. They'll all be hoping for a safety car now. Evan looks like he's putting some pressure on the back of Joe. And, really fancied Reliot for this race, but he's got a lot of work to do from back where he is now. But Evan looking like he's got a bit of pace in him tonight. He's done 1 quali lap and he chucked it right in the middle of the top 10. So don't rule him out. We've got Ill Vision a bit further back. Looks like he's starting to put a bit of pressure on Brandon. Brandon's had an odd couple of races really. He's been in some really strong positions and then suddenly finds himself out of position. So it'd be interesting to see what he can do. But I think he's dropped away a little bit from the championship race. We'll have a look at the standings in a bit when we get some time. Either when the gaps start spreading themselves out or we get a safety car, we can have a look. But yeah, there's pretty much a sheet could cover the top 10 at the moment. Not really. There's only 1 second gap in there, which is Brandon. But Jordan hasn't been able to catch Nell. Nell will now be looking for a further 3/10 to try and clear that DRS zone. But Evan again putting pressure on Joe, getting ever closer, 3/10 back. Stuck in the dirty air right behind him. It's not easy through these fast flowing corners. To try and drive that closely to someone. So you just got to pick your spot and commit to it. Reddit's back in the pit again. I wonder what's happened. I wonder if he needed a wing change and it didn't happen. But he's got to be careful that he doesn't get lapped here, because if he gets lapped, it's just there's no way back for him. I think he's just going to get out in front, and then he needs a safety car desperately. Ill Vision right on the back of Brandon now. You can smell the fumes coming out of his exhaust. Brandon just carries a bit more momentum through the final couple of corners. It's all about the run. You can just see that Ill Vision's rear end just got a bit snappy there and he couldn't hold it, but I think he's going to have enough of a run, maybe not running as much wing there as Brandon, and he's through. So he's up into 7th place. Berserk's dropped back a bit, he's out of DRS. Nerdy up into the top 5. And really just hanging on to the back of this group here, so good race from him so far. He's good at keeping himself out of trouble and just waiting for his moments. Evan's still trying to apply some pressure on Joe, but just cannot get close enough to make the overtake. And Jordan is desperately trying to hold on to that DRS of Nellboy out in front. And Nellboy has just opened up the gap now, so if he can just put away a little bit more, he might just start building himself a bit of a gap the field in front. And you can see there's a car just in front of this lead pack. That's Reliot, and Reliot's got to really got to push hard to make sure he doesn't get lapped. He's come out on mediums, so, and he'll be on slightly fresher mediums, so he's just got to hope that he can keep his distance to Nell, and he's quick enough, so we'll see. But look at Jordan in this 3rd sector. He's brought it back within a second, which means now he's going to get the DRS help, or is he? Or did it jump out of a second just at the right time? Let's have a look. Let's watch his wing. He does open it, so he does get it. That's fortunate. But not really making many inroads into Nell. So maybe this lap is the lap for Nell to just pull away. The cars behind are enjoying as Brandon gets his place back. But look at this. Who's this coming through? It's Mikey. Steaming his way through the middle of them. Oh, he's picked up 2 places in one straight, but Brandon's just going to fight it back. He's got the inside line. Is Mikey going to be able to switch it back? Not just yet, but he's going to continue the fight. He's going to tuck in behind for this one, I think. Don't want to be chucking it at the inside there. And this is where he keeps getting, well, either making mistakes or getting taken out. Didn't see what actually happened to him. Just needs to be a bit more patient on under braking, just into that little hairpin there. But he's up into 8th, so a bit of a recovery from Mikey. This group at the back are pretty bunched up. Haywood's now starting to make an impression on Jordan. I wonder if he made a mistake. Now nearly 2 seconds back. We've got, oh, is that Reliot? I think he's moved out of the way, hasn't he? Yeah, I think he has. He's had to move out of the way. And there he is. So that could be Reliot's race over, really, because well, he'll have to keep going until everyone pits to unlap himself. As Hackett gets through, and oh, Mike's gone a bit wide there. I wonder if he would have got a warning for that. Here's Haywood putting some pressure on Jordan then. He's got the DRS. Jordan has lost the DRS to Nell, and Joe is through. So Joe now has to get his head down and build a second gap, do exactly what Nell Boy's just done. And Mikey's up into 7th on that straight. He's got some good straight line speed there, Mikey, I think. And I think Bog at the same time made the move on Ill Vision. Ill Vision is actually still there trying to come back at Bog. You can see all 4 of these cars in a line. Jordan still putting some pressure on Joe, and Bog just runs a little wide, but Ill Vision will be... Ooh, it was a scary moment. You don't want to just chuck your nose in there. You've got to be able to... make the move stick, and that would not have made that stick. Some changing of places a little bit further back from the group that pitted early on. They really need to help each other, try and get each other back in the race. Nell is starting to drive away, he's 2 seconds clear. Jordan is keeping up with Haywood. Evan is just tagging along for the ride, and Nerdy, interestingly, has dropped out of that second gap, so DRS will not be his. Those 3 should start now to pull away from that group behind. Ill Vision now has started to drop back from Bob. Bog's actually looking to put some pressure on Brandon now. But I think Ill Vision is running... not. I don't think he's running as much wing, which makes him absolutely rapid in the straight. But Bog is the one putting the pressure on Brandon here as he flicks to the inside. I think he's going to be done way before the corner. So can get nice and wide and carry plenty of speed into the corner. Good move from Bog. Picks the right moment, and he's got little Mikey just down the road from him. We'll jump back up to this pack at the front. Jordan is keeping tabs with Joe. I'm not sure if Joe is having to burn some ERS. He actually got more than Jordan, so he's doing a great job of just keeping this group behind and not trying to destroy his battery. But I think it's this sector 3 that Jordan looks far more comfortable in, and seems to be, as Berserk picks a 3-second time penalty. I think this is where Jordan is making his time through this sector here. We'll have a watch and see what happens with the Delta. He's 8 tenths back now. Still 8 tenths. Actually dropping back a tiny bit. Haywood's had a very good sector 3 so far. But he's still going to have enough for the DRS, so he's going to catch Haywood down the straight. Evan has a bit of a glitch. I think Hackett is looking at the back of Jago. No way through for Evan just yet. So the 2 key battles, this one we're watching right now, this is for 3rd place, no, 2nd place, sorry. And then one a bit further down the field, Brandon is just keeping tabs with Bog. Bog is just outside the window of Mikey. Mikey is just about to nip into the DRS of Berserk, which is big. That will help propel him a little bit further forward. And we'll keep an eye on his delta or his interval to see if he starts to catch. And he's doing it quite quickly, so tempted to jump to him any second, because I think he's probably the next overtaking opportunity that we have, as these guys just seem to be settled in currently in their positions, not doing anything drastic. There's plenty of this race left to go, whereas Mikey is trying to advance forward, try and join this pack. You can just see Mikey very, very smooth through here, and here he comes then into the penultimate corner, and he's within 4/10. I think this should be easy take for Mikey, as he can't quite get his tyres to grip into the surface and hit that apex. Berserk tries to pull wide to release the slipstream. Mikey decides to chink back into the racing line, and he's going to be absolutely fine and through before the corner as he slows down nicely, covers off the line, doesn't let Berserk back through, and off he goes. Now he's got to chase down Nerdy, who is 2.5 seconds up the road. There is a yellow flag. It's someone at the back, and it's Jaego's out, so that could be a safety car. It is a safety car, and that brings people like Reliot straight back into the race. I think Reliot needs to try and get back round. It's not saying that he's been lapped. I think maybe it's not saying he's been lapped, but he has, because he's behind Jaego. So he needs to try and stay out and hope that everyone pits and that he's close enough to be able to overtake everyone, but I think he's going to be too far back here. Who's he stuck behind? Is that Hackett? So where's Wazza? Oh, Wazza's the one in the pits, okay. Makes sense. I don't think Reliot's going to be close enough to unlap himself. And hopefully the grid will recognise it, and there is ways that you can get the game to allow you to unlap. But the problem is they have to do it before they reach the back of the safety car, and they're not going to be able to. And really, you can see Reliot wants to get on with it, and everyone is pitting. Nerdy, I think, might have stayed out. That's going to... yeah, that's Reliot. It's game over for Reliot if he's done that. I mean, he's not going to catch his pack anyway. But Nerdy stays out. Must be on the hards. He is. So he wants track position. So these medium runners are ditching the mediums and going on to hards. And they're going to try and go to the end of the race. And my assumption is, if we get a safety car later... oh, Bog goes on the soft, aggressive. I like it. I like that strategy. It means he will have to pit, but he will be thinking that there's another safety car in it yet. So Nerdy takes over the lead of the race. He's got other hard runners in behind him. It'd be interesting to see whether he can hold his own up there with fresh rubber behind him. And time will tell. But one thing we do know is he does have to pit, everyone behind him doesn't. So if there are no more safety cars, he could be in a bit of trouble. We'll see what his safety car restarts are like. Aurelius just about to catch the back of the pack, unfortunately can't unlap himself. But just while we're waiting, Jordan is leading the championship on 119 points. Boy just behind him on 114, then got a gap to Ill Vision on 89. Little Mikey with 84, so that third place is still up for grabs in the race of champions. Got Chris, who's not here today, got some problems with EA on 68 points. Brandon in 6th, 64 points. Then again, a bit of a gap. Hackett, Haywood, Guna, all in the 40s. Then we've got Wazza and Berserk in the 20s, along with Relia. And then Nerdy on 19. So currently leading the race. Got a chance here to improve on that points total, but the safety car is going to come in. Let's get off the tyre selection so we can see a bit more of the racing. So Nerdy is going to lead us away. When's he going to go? And here he goes. He's caught Boy napping. He's nearly a second ahead already. So that's a great restart, but Boy is starting to claw it back. But Jordan is all over the back of Nell. Let's watch him. Not quite quick enough, and they're not going to drain their batteries here. They're a bit more experienced than that. And the person to watch is going to be Bob, who went on to soft, but suddenly he's down in 12th. I don't know why he's at the back of the field. But he'll be the man to watch. Should be pretty quick against all these hard runners on his soft tyres. It's all very close. Nerdy's been reeled back in by Nell, so Nell is very good at picking his moments. Oh, and he makes a mistake, Nerdy, and that just lets these two go. So now Nell is free to try and build up this gap again, and he runs a little wide there. Is that going to give Jordan an opportunity to have a little run? Can't quite, has to move back out of it, and this has really bunched the field back up. We've got a bit of a fight going on further back. Berserk looks very, very close to Mikey, but again just has to back out. Nothing silly at this stage. Sort yourselves out and do it down the straight, but Berserk again gets very close. He's carrying far too much speed into those corners by the look of it. Haywood all over the back of Nerdy, and he might even have this done before they get to the straight. Here we go. So it's a drag race now, and Evan's going to have some help of some slipstream, and he slips to the inside, and I think he might even end up having both of them here. He does. Double move for Evan. Up into third place. Nerdy pushed wide. Haywood still in there trying to make a move. He tries to flick back to the inside. The angle's just not there for him. This is frustrating for Haywood because he should have been passed, but because he didn't get the slipstream, it cost him. Berserk having a little look at Mikey a bit further back. We can see Haywood just in front. He can't make a move just yet, and Berserk just getting impatient on the brakes, and he's under pressure from Ill Vision. Let's see him watch all 5 from this, and there's a bit of a tussle going on behind. Oh, and what's that? Waz has gone off, and he's taken someone with him. Is it Brandon? Sorry, I completely lost it, but that's a virtual safety car. Who's the orange car? It was Wazza. He just sort of completely lost control, and Brandon, oblivious, just got taken with him. But it moves Bog up to 10th. These gaps are just spreading out a little bit whilst we're under virtual safety car conditions. And we'll wait for the announcement to go racing again. Drive through for Elliott, so his day gets worse and worse. So he's on Delta, but Jordan straight in on it. He wasn't hanging around under that Delta, was he? I think Nailboy might have just been hanging back, and Jordan's jumped him. He's into the lead. So how's Nailboy going to react to that? He's got Evan all over the back of him as well. And Joe's been caught out by the restart. By the look of it, he's nearly 2 seconds back, and that's huge for the. That's huge because when the DRS gets turned back on, he's not going to have it, but he is starting to close up again now. He's got another 2/10 to find. We'll see if he can manage it. Whoa, and Evan just collects a little bit of that sausage curb, and you can just see it just unbalance the car. But what that has done is got Joe back into DRS. And look at little Mikey on his way up the field. He's in 5th here and sitting pretty for a chance at a podium. But he just needs Joe to make sure that he keeps in that DRS of Evan. Evan's going to be getting pulled along by the front two. And I think in reality, Mikey's target here has got to be the podium. Nailboy is now all over the back of Jordan. He's not going to be able to make a move, and Hayward's gone a little bit wide here, and this is going to give Mikey a little bit of a sniff. Can't get it done just yet. He's got to be patient. He's got to wait. Just keep pressuring him. See if he cracks and makes another mistake, but just keep your race going. Joe is now dropping back a little bit, so Mikey is going to want to push him along a little bit. Doesn't want to lose that DRS advantage. But Mikey looking really racy here. Wants to get on with this. And needs Hayward to get on with it as well. Because whilst those three at the front are close together, that will help. But he's got to do it quickly. So if he wants that place, he's got to do it now. And he's getting some pressure from Berserk behind as well. So he's going to want to get away from that. And the only way he's going to do that is clearing Joe. But Joe is creating some real dirty air. It's making it really tough for Mikey. You can see all 3 or 4 cars there following just couldn't keep close. But he's now starting to pinch on Joe here. Can't get it to the apex again because of that dirty air. Gets his foot down. Has he got enough? I think Ill Vision is lining up a move on Berserk. Let's just have a quick look at that. Here he goes. They're side by side, and Jordan gets overtaken at the front. And Nailboy quite comfortably through. Is Mikey now going to make his move? He is, and he's through. So 3 overtakes there on that one straight alone. So Mikey now a 2.5 seconds back. Needs to catch Evan as quickly as possible. But Evan is trying to put some pressure on Jordan. So before Nailboy gets away, Mikey's got to get his foot down. So Mikey is starting to reduce that gap, but the DRS for Evan is going to start to push them away again. So he's just got to keep pushing as hard as he can, and you can see that he's just using a bit of ERS to try and close that gap. And it's just over a second. That's going to be so frustrating. But if he can just take a little bit each lap, and he is getting closer. So. So Mikey's still struggling to just break that gap. Still at 1.2, and that's what it was at the end of the straight. So he's got one more sector really to try and break that 2/10. There's not too much else happening anywhere else, so let's just watch this. This is the opportunity. I feel like he's really strong through this third sector. This is where he made up all his time last time, especially this corner. And there you go. He just needs to get another half a tenth just before the DRS line, and he has. I think, where is the DRS line? There it is. And he was exactly a second. That's going to be interesting. Is it going to give him the DRS? If it is, that's huge. No, it's not. So he was just over a second then. But he is within that second now, and the DRS is just pulling away. Evan is getting very close to Jordan, just not close enough. But that early tap on the brakes is just going to give Mikey a chance to get back in. Here we go. So Mikey is now going to be involved in this pack of 3 at the front. It's going to become 4. And we'll just see if he's taken the shelf life off his tyres. But they're hard, they're durable, they should be fine. It's going to be interesting how this race pans out. Where is Nerdier? He's down in 10th. He must have pitted to get off those hards. He has. So he tried to stay out. He tried something different. Fair play to him. It's just not worked out today. And Bob is just making closing the gap up on Hackett there. It's 3/10 back. Is he still on? Is he still on the softs? No, he went into medium. So wonder if he just wanted to change his tyre and come out on fresh medium to give them an extra lap. That was probably his game plan. But here we go, Mikey gaining on this group. Half a second back. Just going to keep an eye on Bog as well, because he's closing in. Berserk picks up another penalty. Mikey well within that DRS range now, so he's got it open. I'll tell you what though, here goes Evan. And he picked up a huge amount on Mikey there. But he makes his move on Jordan. And I think that's because he was so much closer. He got the DRS and the slipstream. I don't think Mikey was getting the help of the slipstream. But Jordan really struggling on these hard tyres now. They've completely lost Nelboy. He's gone 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds off into the lead. So I think these three are going to be fighting for that second place. And unless Jordan can get those tyres fired back up, this is between Evan and Mikey, I think. But Mikey, you know, he's just right on the edge of that second. He's got to try and get a little bit closer. And Bog did get through on Hackett in the end. He's up into 8. And Ill Vision is not too far away from Berserk. But it's the battle of the penalties back there. Bog is lapping with nothing. So let's see if he can stay penalty free to the end. He's got 10 laps to do it. Mikey just about hanging on to a second. Jordan is keeping up with Evan. Just sneaks back within that second. I think that's that DRS activation line there, not the activation line, the sort of check of a second. So I think he's going to open his wing again. He is. But again, it's just not making the inroads. Is Jordan going to be able to close in? Mikey just seems to be struggling in a straight line by the look of it. And I don't know whether that's due to slipstream effect of the two in front or what really, but yeah, doesn't look like he's going to be able to bridge that gap. So I think it's between these two for second place then, unless he can find just a bit more pace. And Bog has really left Hackett now. He's got 2 seconds clearance up the road. Ill Vision probably the next closest man on track. He's on the back of Berserk, 4/10 back. Berserk just gets a bit sideways, but carries momentum with it, so gets away with it. Ill Vision just patient on the throttle there, but he picks up a 3-second time penalty because he ends up running a bit wide. Get a bit of a glitch there by the look of it. But anyway, he carries on. No damage done. Poor Relly at the back of the field. I wonder if he served that drive-through yet. I think he must have, because you have to serve it in a certain period of time. Mikey on the cusp of that second again. He's just about going to get DRS again, but and Ill Vision runs wide again. Well, he actually pulls into the pits. I wonder why he's coming in. very odd time to come in. He's going to go for softs, but he's going to lose so much time. Let's look at Jordan then, closing back in on Evan. Getting closer, not close enough though. And Bog gets through on ill vision. Sorry, yeah, he's in the pits, that's why. Stop panicking, thinking you're missing overtakes. You are not. And someone else is in the pit, that looks like it's Hackett. They'll be going on to softs, I'm sure, as long as they've got fresh sets left. So, let's have a look at Nailboy quickly. He's been out there. Got himself back in front, really led the race from start to finish, to be honest. Had a cracking race. Just needs to hold it together, bring it home. But yeah, he's look quality, and he has most of the season, to be honest. Even when he's decided not to put a qualifying lap in, he's looked brilliant. But we'll leave him to continue to drive away into the distance. There is starting to become a gap to Evan. Evan is actually making that second place his. He's got a second to Jordan, and this could be key for Mikey here because he's got Jordan in front of him flashing, and if he can get DRS down this straight, that might just be the breakthrough he needed to get onto the podium. Here we go. Does get DRS. Jordan, I'm assuming, did not. He didn't. Here we go then. So this is Mikey. This is the closest he's been. He's not going to be there for the first corner, but he's going to be a hell of a lot closer. And Jordan is at risk now with his light flashing. He's got less than 10% of his ERS left. He's got 7 laps left. There's plenty of time for Mikey to do it. He will be thinking about Evan, but get your podium and then worry about Evan. You can just see he is really neat and tidy. He's just sticking to his lines. He wants to try and force Jordan into the mistake. And Jordan's no slouch. He's at the top of the standings. So he's going to fight for every single position he can. And he's just banked up a bit of ERS. He stopped flashing now. Mikey just has to hold off there because the car was sort of washing out wide. But again, this is still the closest he's been coming into this third sector. There's going to be horrible dirty air coming off the back of Jordan's car here. And he's flashing again. This is going to leave him vulnerable. So Mikey will be thinking this is the lap to do it. He's 3/10 back. He's really gaining on him. Good exit out of here, and he does get that, and Jordan takes a real tight line. That's going to hamper the amount of exit speed he's got. Surely Mikey needs to tuck him behind, but he's just going to go for it. And they're side by side, and it looks like the job is done. Is Jordan going to try and get back at him with a slipstream? Don't think he can. He's got no answer with the DRS open. And here we go. Can Mikey now track down Evan? This is probably the battle to watch now for a while. Let's just see what Jordan does in terms of hanging on to the back of Mikey. He hung on to Evan for a while, but as soon as that second got broken, that was him done really. As Berserk, I think, is in the pits. He's losing places. But this is all about this podium now. I think, barring any mistakes, Nailboy should be pretty comfortable up there. Mikey's got a lot of work to do if he wants to try and get into that second place, but lap by lap, just needs to be thinking about taking a couple of tenths out of that lead. Really go for a big push at the end, but Evan's holding his own currently. And you can just see Jordan is now starting to fade away a little bit, really struggled on those hard tyres. Nailboy, however, just pushing on, and look at this third sector. And Jordan picks up a 3-second time penalty, which is not going to help him. But if you look, Mikey is now starting to eat into that lead of Evan. And that third sector is Mikey's strong point. That's where he's finding the time. And Jordan, I don't think he's going to have too many weapons to fight with. He hasn't got his ERS. He's got the DRS. It's not enough. And I think Mikey might just extend that sort of 9/10 lead he had. That he's already got 7/10. So Mikey looking far stronger on these tyres. So now it's about Mikey. Can he chase down Evan? We've got ill vision on the back of Nerdy down the home straight, so he should get a nice easy pass into turn 1. I think he's going to complete it before we get to the corner. And Nerdy can't really do much about that. So Jordan is keeping tabs with Mikey. Let's just go back to it. Jordan is there. But this is the part of the track I think that Mikey is struggling with. But again, this was over 2 seconds to Evan last time round. And this is now where Mikey comes into his own. So can he take again another 2/10 out of Evan? And you think he's only got to get within a second. It opens up his DRS. And that's when things look a little bit better. But maybe Evan just had a bit of a trouble round there last time because Mikey's actually lost a bit of time this time. Oh no, it's that last corner. Look, that penultimate corner is where he's gaining it. So it takes a nice late apex and he's able to floor it. Jordan tries to follow suit. He's 6/10 back. DRS open. Not really got much ERS. But he's going to arrive just at the corner at the same time they're going to turn in. So he's just not going to be close enough. So Mikey now, I think, is probably turning into defend mode on his podium. But Nerdy trying to come back at All Vision. Down the home straight. All Vision, they're both flashing actually. Nerdy needs to keep that slipstream. And there's a battle going on. Berserk and Wazza just behind. Nerdy does get the place back. And it looks like Berserk gets through on Wazza as well. So this battle looks like it's going to continue for a couple more laps. And these two 16 seconds back from Bog in 6th. Didn't see that happen. So well played to him. But if you look, Mikey now 1.7 away. He's eating into the lead, but not quick enough. And Nellboy just continues to pull away, and Jordan is just using Mikey to pull him along, really. But again, this is the part of the track Mikey's a bit stronger in. It's this last corner here where he seems to make up so much time. But Evan got it right this time, I think, because he didn't gain too much. Nerdy and Ill Vision still going at it. Jordan is still there on Mikey, and in fact I'm going to flick to it because he's going to have the DRS, probably not much ERS, and he's going to arrive at the same time again, but again he's just too far back. Thought he might have been able to have a little lunge at the inside there, but he didn't. And Mikey has now got to find a way of just keeping Jordan behind him. That's the key now. But Jordan has got the 3-second time penalty. In fact, let's have a look at penalties now because this is going to affect the race. So Jordan with a 3-second time penalty. So Mikey doesn't even really need to fight. We've got Ill Vision. Oh, they're 3 wide. Ill Vision gets through on Nerdy, and Nerdy is being attacked by Berserk here, and he's got through. But Nerdy's going to have the inside line, and he keeps his car in there. But Berserk now gets the inside line. This is the that's why this track is so fun. It just if you do end up being side by side the whole way round, you keep swapping the inside line. So Berserk does get the job done in the end, and that's the end of the Ill Vision Nerdy fight. But it does now mean that Berserk and Ill Vision are next to each other. And look at all these penalties. It's a disaster. Waz are actually looking in great shape back there with only a 3-second penalty. Could be jumping a lot of them. Jordan still keeping tabs with Mikey. Mikey has reeled Evan in a little bit again, but really just not getting close enough. Jordan, let's just watch it, but I don't think he's going to be close enough again. He's going to have to. I think he's going to attack one of them in the next couple of laps, because he's almost at the window where he doesn't want to do it just in case. There's only a couple of laps left, so surely going to try it at some point. Here we go then, Berserk on Ill Vision, making his way down the outside. Nerdy will be sat there watching this, and will be hoping to just creep up to the back of it all. Have a quick look at Bog. Done a great job to get back into 6th place. He restarted after the safety car in 12th, so what a great race from him. I haven't seen too many overtakes, so apologies. But yeah, doing a great job there, and actually got Hayward just up the road. Don't think he's going to have enough time to catch him, but if there's any mistakes he'll be there to mop it up. Jordan looks the closest he's been for a long time. So he's fired these hard tyres back up, and now he's just giving it back to Mikey. So very strange that he's now finding the grip now. Maybe it's just that he's better under low grip conditions, and he's going to have Mikey this time round. And there's only going to be one lap after this. So who's played the game better here? Was it... Well, Jordan does have to get in front of him to try and get 3 seconds ahead. So I suppose Mikey just needs to stick around, really. And just get the podium based on the points. Or the deduction that he will get because of the time penalty. So that'll be Mikey's plan, I assume. I'm sure he'll want to do it on track if he can, but he won't do anything silly, I don't think. But otherwise, it's literally just this battle a bit further back. 4 cars here. Waz has sat at the back of it, licking his lips, knowing that he's got at least 3 seconds on all of these drivers in front. Some of them 6, so he's going to gobble all of that up, and then he picks up a penalty. Wazza, man, what are you doing? You're just throwing away 7th. I suppose you're an 8th, but even so, mate. Oh, man. He's going to be gutted when he watches that back. I'm sure he can see it in his MFD at the top. But anyway, he's got a job to do. He's got to go and finish this race now, and he can stay within 3 seconds, still gain 2 places. What about Mikey then? He's just going to hang around for the party, I think. No need to do anything silly. Yeah, he just backs out of it. No need to do it. Just stick with him. Ill vision on Berserk then. Not close enough. Oh, and there are yellow flags. Where is that and why is that? Who's that orange car? It was these 2. Huh? Oh, okay. There's a car moving that way, is it? Whoa, it's Brandon getting lapped. I've never seen that. Brandon, old boy, what's happened to you? He's in on softs. Jeez. Never thought I'd see the day where Brandon got lapped. But anyway, we haven't talked enough about this guy today. Absolutely dominated. Was different gravy in qualifying. And it's just showing his class again on track. He had a couple of hairy moments where Nerdy sort of took the initiative and Jordan overtook him just after the safety car, but got back in front and made this race his. So he's going to come across the line and he's going to win this race. Congratulations now. Brilliant drive. Brandon, I don't know what you're waving at, but yeah, fair play, mate. Well done. Evan comes round in 2nd place. Great drive from him. Jordan is going to come over the line in 3rd, but will drop back to Mikey. So Mikey on the podium, congratulations. Great race from Jordan as well. Joe comes home to take 5th. Bog, congratulations in 6th place. He's going to be very happy with that race. Well done to him. And Nerdy's just got past Ill Vision around the last corner. And Ill Vision's picked up 9 seconds. Nerdy's on 9 seconds. What's going on here? What's going on? Ill Vision's out of fuel. Wow. Is Wazza close enough to pick up 7th? He is close enough to pick up 7th. Something must have happened here. Berserk. What happened to Berserk? He's out of fuel as well. They didn't fuel enough. Wow, what an end. Oh, they are over the line, aren't they? Yeah, Hackett's finished good. As his wheel goes flying off. Berserk's still not finished. Brandon is finished because we saw him come over the line after he got lapped. And then Reliot, poor guy, man. Fair play for hanging around. Been a bit of a spectator really after the incident in the first corner. I'm assuming his wing didn't change. And he's just up to toodle around and gets the end. Well done for hanging around, mate. Unlucky. And you couldn't even spin your car on the line, which he was trying to do. And look at Hackett, parked in the wall on the right. Before the game says it, driver of the day, got to be Nailboy for me. Absolutely dominated. But Mikey, yeah, I understand why the game's giving him that. That was a solid drive to get back into the podium. We'll actually be disappointed with the wreckage at the start because I think he could have maybe even gone a bit further there. But nevertheless, can't moan at a podium. So what a race. Division 3 never fails to amuse. We did have one full safety car. I think we had a couple of virtuals, maybe one virtual. So pretty good standards from Division 3 yet again. And there's Nel coming through to pick up his champagne and his trophy here in Qatar. On the winner step again, Nel boy. Look at all his fans. They adore him. And now he's going to coat them in champagne. Well done, Nel boy. Big win. Big win in the standings. So Nel boy first. Evan, quality race from you in second. Mikey with an exceptional job to get his way back up to third after some incidents in the first corner. Jordan, unlucky not to be up there, showed really good pace, was actually leading the race for a lap or two, but couldn't quite make the hard tyres work. He was in fourth. Joe, again, had a good race, seemed to be on his own a little bit there in fifth. Bog in sixth. Wazza in seventh. Nerdy in eighth. Hackett ninth. Illvision 10th. Berserk 11th. Brandon, Reliot, Yago finished the field. Well done to everyone that raced tonight. Big shout out to Bog for ending sixth. And yeah, thank you very much everyone for joining. And yeah, still got 3 rounds I think it is left of the season. So please join us again next week. And we'll share some more carnage from Division 3. But see you then.